Hi, first grade friends. So for our Bible lesson today, we're going to talk about the Last Supper. You can see a picture in our religion book. And the Last Supper is actually what we celebrate or remember on Maundy, Thursday, the Thursday of Holy Week. But we're going to talk a little bit about it today because I have some other lessons we're going to do later in the week and it'll build up to that. So I'll read the story and then just mention a couple of little things that we need to remember. It was time for the celebration of Passover. Now, Passover is a holiday that the Jewish people have to remember when Moses helped the people of Israel be free. And remember that the angel of the Lord during the 10th plague passed over the Israelites who had put the blood of the lamb on their doorposts. So this is a celebration that people have even to this day where they remember that, being freed from slavery in Egypt. So this is what Jesus was celebrating. It was time for the celebration of Passover. Jesus sent 2 of his disciples into the city of Jerusalem to prepare the Passover meal because they eat a special meal on Passover to remember the meal that they had when they were leaving Egypt. Later that evening, Jesus arrived with his disciples to celebrate Passover. When they were eating, Jesus said, "I tell you the truth, tonight one of you will give me to my enemies." So you can see how he's talking to his disciples. Jesus' closest friends and the disciples were shocked and sad and said, "It surely isn't I, is it, Lord?" Jesus said, "It is the one who dips his bread into the bowl with me." Judas dipped his bread into the bowl with Jesus. "Is it I, teacher?" Jesus looked at Judas and said, "You must have said so. Go and do what you must do." Judas got up and went to Jesus' enemies. He had promised the chief priests that he would lead them to Jesus if they would give him 30 pieces of silver. Then Jesus stood up, gave thanks for the food, broke some bread, and poured some wine into a cup, and said, "This is my body and blood, which I give to you for the forgiveness of sins. Eat this bread and drink this wine to remember me." Jesus knew that very soon he would be arrested and would die. He had his last meal with his friends. Before he died, Jesus wanted to give his disciples and all believers, all of his friends, a gift, the forgiveness of sins. So when we take communion at church, we remember that Passover meal that Jesus had with his disciples. And we say even those words. You've heard those words probably. "This is my body given for you. This is my blood." And I really like the Bible verse that goes with this lesson today. So it says, "Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends." And that's from John chapter 15, verse 13. And that's what Jesus did. He gave his life for us so that we could be free from sin. Isn't that amazing? We'll talk more about it tomorrow. Thank you, boys and girls.